Training ground boost. Ahmad and Malacia back as United prepare for Sunderland. Welcome back to United News, where we keep you connected to every heartbeat at Old Trafford. If you are looking for reliable, up-to-date information about Manchester United, you have come to the right place. We understand that being a Red Devil means more than just watching matches on the weekend. It means staying connected to the club every single day, knowing what is happening behind the scenes, and being ready to support your team through thick and thin. Today, we bring you some positive news from the training ground that should lift the spirits of every United fan after a disappointing weekend. Finally, some good news from Carrington. After the painful 3-1 defeat at Brentford last weekend, Manchester United fans desperately needed something to smile about. Well, the training ground updates from Wednesday have delivered exactly that. Two key players have returned to first-team training ahead of Saturday's Premier League clash against Sunderland at Old Trafford. And these are not just any players. These are two individuals who could make a real difference as Ruben Amorim searches for solutions to United's slow start to the season. The returning stars are Amad Diallo and Tyrell Malacia. Both players joining the main training group represents a significant boost for a squad that has been dealing with injury problems and disappointing results. But before we dive into what these returns mean for United's chances against Sunderland, let me give you the full story of why these players were absent and why their comebacks matter so much. Amad's heartbreaking absence. Let me start with Amad Diallo because his situation touches something deeper than just football. This is a story about loss, grief, and the human side of the game we all love. Amad had been one of Manchester United's most consistent performers in the opening weeks of the season. The young Ivorian winger started 5 of United's first 6 Premier League matches, showing flashes of the talent that made United sign him in the first place. But then, suddenly, he was not in the squad for the trip to Brentford. Fans were confused. Was he injured? Had he fallen out of favor with Amorim? What was going on? The truth, when it emerged, was far more serious than any tactical decision or minor injury. Someone in Amad's family had passed away. Before the Brentford match, Ruben Amorim explained the situation with the kind of compassion and understanding that shows his human side. He said, "Someone in his family passed away, so we are giving all the support to Amad. We understood it was important to him to have his time. We are here for him." These words remind us that footballers are people first, athletes second. They experience the same pain, loss, and grief that all of us face in life. When someone loses a loved one, football becomes secondary. Family comes first. Manchester United, to their credit, handled the situation perfectly. They gave Amad the space and time he needed to grieve, to be with his family, and to process his loss. There was no pressure to return quickly. No demands that he put the team before his personal situation. This is how football clubs should operate. Players are not just assets or employees. They are human beings who need support during difficult times. Now, Amad is back. He has returned to training, and according to reports from Carrington, he is working hard to prepare for the Sunderland match. This shows incredible mental strength from a young player who has been through a traumatic experience. Why Amad's return matters so much. So why is Amad's return such big news for Manchester United? What difference can one winger make to a team that is struggling so badly? Let me break this down for you. First, Amad has been one of United's better performers this season. In a team that has looked lost and disorganized for much of the campaign, Amad has shown moments of quality, creativity, and threat going forward. He brings pace, skill, and unpredictability to United's attack. These are qualities that have been sorely missing from the team, especially in the defeat at Brentford. United's attack looked toothless without him. Second, Amad offers something different from United's other attacking options. He is direct, willing to take on defenders, and capable of creating chances out of nothing. In Amorim's system, which requires technical players who can operate in tight spaces, Amad is a perfect fit. Third, and perhaps most interestingly, United are playing against Sunderland this weekend. And Sunderland just happens to be Amad's former club. Amad spent time on loan at Sunderland during the 2022 to 2023 season. He made a huge impact at the Stadium of Light, becoming a fan favorite and helping the club push for promotion. The Sunderland supporters loved him, and he clearly has good memories of his time there. Now he returns to face them as a Manchester United player at Old Trafford. If Ahmad is mentally and emotionally ready to play, this could be the perfect match for him to make an impact. There is something special about playing against your former club. It gives players extra motivation, and often they produce their best performances in these matches. Imagine if Ahmad scores against Sunderland on Saturday. It would be the perfect way to honor his late family member and show incredible mental resilience after a difficult period. It would give United fans a moment of joy after weeks of frustration. And it might just be the spark that gets United's season back on track. The Malacia mystery finally ends. Now let me turn to the other returning player, Tyrell Malacia. This is a different kind of comeback story, but no less important for Manchester United. Malacia's absence has been one of the great mysteries of the season. The Dutch left-back has barely been seen since the end of last season. He has not played a single minute of football this campaign. Training ground reports rarely mentioned his name. Fans started wondering if he would ever play for United again. There were whispers about injury problems. Some reports suggested he was dealing with a serious knee issue that was taking longer to heal than expected. Other rumors hinted at personal problems or disputes behind the scenes. But the club remained largely silent about Malacia's situation. There were no detailed injury updates, no clear timeline for his return, just vague statements about him working his way back to fitness. This silence frustrated fans. We invest emotionally in these players. We want to know what is happening with them. When a player disappears without explanation, it creates worry and speculation. Well, finally, we have some clarity. Malacia is back in first-team training. He was spotted with the main group on Wednesday, working alongside his teammates as they prepare for Sunderland. This is huge news for Manchester United's defensive options. Why United need Malacia back. Let me explain why Malacia's return is so important for Manchester United right now. The left-back position has been a problem area for United this season. The team has been dealing with injuries and absences in that position, forcing Ruben Amorim to use makeshift solutions or ask players to play in uncomfortable roles. In Amorim's 3-4-2-1 system, the wingbacks are absolutely crucial. They need to defend well, but they also need to provide width in attack. They need to have the stamina to cover huge amounts of ground, getting up and down the touchline for 90 minutes. This is not an easy role. It requires a specific type of player. Someone who is fit, fast, tactically intelligent, and capable of contributing at both ends of the pitch. Malacia, when he is fit and confident, can be that player. He showed promise in his first season at Manchester United. He is quick, energetic, and willing to get forward. He can defend one-on-one and has the technical ability to contribute in attack. But here is the big question. Is Malacia ready to play? Or will he need more time to build up his match fitness after such a long absence? This is where things get tricky. Being back in training is one thing. Being ready to play 90 minutes of Premier League football is something completely different. Malacia has not played competitive football in months. His body will need time to adjust to the intensity of training. His match sharpness will be rusty. His tactical understanding of Amorim's system will need work. It would be unrealistic to expect Malacia to walk straight back into the starting lineup this weekend. More likely, Amorim will ease him back gradually. Maybe he gets some minutes off the bench against Sunderland. Maybe he needs another week or two of training before he is ready for match action. But the important thing is that he is back in the mix. United finally have another option in a position where they have been thin on the ground. The Mazraoui blow. While we celebrate the return of Ahmad and Malacia, there is one piece of bad news from the training ground that we need to address. Noussair Mazraoui remains absent from training. The Moroccan fullback has been ruled out until the October international break, which begins next week. This is a significant blow for Manchester United. Mazraoui has been a regular in the team this season, and his absence creates another gap in the squad that Amorim needs to fill. The timing is particularly frustrating. Just as Malacia returns, Mazraoui goes out. United cannot seem to get a fully fit squad together. There is always someone missing, always another injury to deal with. This pattern of injuries has been a major problem for Manchester United over the past few seasons. Is it bad luck? Is it poor fitness training? Is it the intensity of the Premier League catching up with players? Nobody seems to have a clear answer. But the result is clear. United are constantly having to patch together lineups and ask players to fill unfamiliar roles. This makes it incredibly difficult to build any kind of consistency or rhythm. For Ruben Amorim, the injury situation must be incredibly frustrating. He came to United with a specific tactical plan, but he has rarely been able to field his strongest team. Players are always missing. The lineup is always changing. How can you build team chemistry and tactical understanding when the personnel keeps shifting? This is another challenge that Amorim needs to overcome if he is going to succeed at Manchester United. Casemiro returns from suspension. Here is another piece of good news for United. Casemiro will be available for selection against Sunderland. The Brazilian midfielder missed the Brentford match because he was suspended. He picked up a red card during United's 2-1 win over Chelsea and had to serve a one-game ban. Now he is back, and his experience could be crucial for United against Sunderland. Casemiro has been a mixed bag this season. Some games, he looks like the world-class defensive midfielder who won 5 Champions League titles with Real Madrid. Other games, he looks slow, tired, and past his best. But even on his off days, Casemiro brings something important to United: leadership and experience. He has won everything in football. He knows how to manage games. He understands when to slow things down and when to speed them up. Against a Sunderland team that will come to Old Trafford full of energy and belief, having Casemiro's calm presence in midfield could make a big difference. The question is whether Amorim will start him. The manager has shown a willingness to rotate his midfield, and there are other options available. But after the disaster at Brentford, you would think Amorim will want his most experienced players on the pitch. The Martinez situation. One name that was notably absent from the training ground reports is Lisandro Martinez. The Argentine defender has been out long-term with injury, and his absence has been a huge blow to Manchester United's defense. Martinez is a warrior, a fighter, someone who gives everything for the team. United have badly missed his presence at the back. According to the latest update, Martinez was not with the main training group on Wednesday. He is still working separately as he continues to build fitness ahead of his comeback. This is disappointing news for United fans who were hoping Martinez might be close to returning. His absence stretches on, and there is still no clear timeline for when he will be back in action. The phrase "continues to strive to build fitness" suggests Martinez is making progress, but he is not quite ready yet. These things cannot be rushed, especially with a player as important as Martinez. United need him back fully fit, not pushed back too soon only to break down again. But every week without Martinez is a week where United's defense looks more vulnerable. The team desperately needs his aggression, his reading of the game, and his ability to play out from the back. Hopefully, we will see Martinez back soon. But for now, United will have to continue managing without him. What this all means for Sunderland. So how do these training ground updates affect United's chances against Sunderland on Saturday? Let me give you my honest assessment. The return of Ahmad is huge. If he is mentally ready to play, he gives United a genuine attacking threat that they desperately need. His pace and directness could cause problems for a Sunderland defense that will set up deep and compact at Old Trafford. Malacia being back in training is encouraging, but he probably will not play a major role this weekend. He needs more time to build fitness. Maybe he makes the bench. Maybe he stays out of the squad entirely while he gets a few more training sessions under his belt. Casemiro being available is important. United need his experience and defensive solidity in midfield, especially after the shambles at Brentford. But here is the reality. United should be beating Sunderland regardless of who is available. Yes, Sunderland are doing well in the Championship. Yes, they will be motivated for this cup tie or league match. But Manchester United, with all their resources and quality players, should be winning this game comfortably. If United cannot beat Sunderland at Old Trafford, even with key players still missing, then the problems run much deeper than just injuries and absences. It would suggest fundamental issues with tactics, mentality, and quality. This is a must-win game for Ruben Amorim. After the loss at Brentford, United need to bounce back immediately. The fans need something to cheer about. The players need a confidence boost. The manager needs to show he can get results when it matters. Sunderland present the perfect opportunity to get back on track. A home game against lower league opposition. The crowd will be behind the team. Players like Ahmad facing their former club. All the ingredients are there for a convincing United victory. Anything less than 3 points would be a disaster. The bigger picture. Let me zoom out for a moment and talk about what these training ground updates tell us about the bigger picture at Manchester United. First, it is clear that United are dealing with a significant injury crisis. Players are constantly going in and out of the team. The squad depth is being tested, and the medical team is under pressure to get players back fit as quickly as possible. This is not sustainable. United cannot keep dealing with so many injuries. Something needs to change, whether it is the training methods, the fitness preparation, or the medical support available to players. Second, the return of Ahmad after his family bereavement shows the human side of football. Players are not robots. They have families, emotions, and lives outside of the game. The way United supported Ahmad during this difficult time reflects well on the club's values. Third, the continued absence of players like Martinez shows how thin United's squad really is. When 1 or 2 key players are missing, the whole team suffers. This suggests United need to invest more in squad depth, bringing in quality players who can step in when first-choice options are unavailable. Fourth, the fact that so much attention is being paid to training ground updates shows how desperate United fans are for any positive news. When your team is struggling, you cling to any small hope, any potential boost. The return of 2 players becomes major news because we are all searching for reasons to believe things will get better. What fans should expect against Sunderland. So what should Manchester United fans expect when Sunderland come to Old Trafford on Saturday? Let me give you my predictions and my honest assessment. First, expect Ruben Amorim to make changes from the team that lost at Brentford. The manager knows that performance was not good enough. He will be looking for a response from his players, and that might mean dropping some of the underperformers. Ahmad will almost certainly start if he is deemed ready. His presence in the team changes the dynamic of United's attack. He provides pace, width, and unpredictability that United desperately need. Casemiro should return to the starting lineup. His experience will be important, and Amorim will want his senior players on the pitch for what is essentially a must-win game. The big question is at goalkeeper. Will Amorim finally drop Altay Bayındır and bring back a more reliable option? This is a decision that could define the manager's tenure. If he stubbornly sticks with a goalkeeper who is clearly not good enough, it shows poor judgment. As for the result, United should win this game comfortably. 3 or 4 goals would not be surprising. Sunderland are a good championship side, but there is a significant quality gap between the teams. But here is the worry. United should have beaten Brentford too. They should have performed better in several matches this season. What should happen and what actually happens are often 2 different things when it comes to Manchester United these days. So while I expect United to win, I would not bet my house on it. This team has a habit of disappointing when you least expect it. The emotional roller coaster continues. Being a Manchester United fan in 2025 is an emotional roller coaster. One day you are celebrating a good training ground update. The next day you are watching your team lose to a team they should beat easily. The return of Ahmad and Malacia gives us hope. It suggests things might be turning around. Maybe United can get some momentum going. Maybe the injury crisis is easing. Maybe Amorim can finally field a consistent team and implement his tactics properly. But we have been here before, have we not? We have had these moments of hope, these glimpses of light at the end of the tunnel. And too often they have turned out to be false dawns. The truth is, United will only turn things around when they start winning matches consistently. Training ground updates are nice, but results are what matter. Points in the table are what count. Ahmad being back is great news, but if United still lose to Sunderland, his return means nothing. Malacia being fit again is encouraging, but if the defense still concedes soft goals, what difference does it make? This is the harsh reality of football. Talk is cheap. Training ground news is just background noise. What matters is what happens on the pitch on Saturday afternoon. A message to Ruben Amorim. If Ruben Amorim is reading this, which he probably is not, here is what Manchester United fans want to see against Sunderland. We want to see energy, passion, and commitment from every player. We want to see a team that looks organized and knows what it is doing. We want to see attacking football that creates chances and scores goals. We want to see Ahmad playing in his natural position, where he can use his pace and skill to hurt the opposition. We want to see Bruno Fernandes in a role where he can create and score. We want to see a goalkeeper who can actually save shots. Most of all, we want to see a win. A convincing, comfortable, no-drama win that gives us something to smile about after weeks of disappointment. Is that too much to ask? For a club of Manchester United's size and history, it should not be. But these days, nothing feels guaranteed. Looking ahead, the Sunderland match is just the start of a crucial period for Manchester United. After this game, there is an international break, which will give Amorim time to work with his players and address some of the problems that have been evident so far. The international break could be a blessing or a curse. On one hand, it gives United time to reset, to work on tactics, and to get more players back fit. On the other hand, it breaks up any momentum the team might build if they win against Sunderland. After the international break, United face a tough run of fixtures. This is when we will really find out whether Amorim has what it takes to succeed at Old Trafford. The training ground updates this week give us a small reason for optimism. But optimism alone will not win matches. United need to convert these positive signs into actual results on the pitch. Final thoughts. The return of Amad Diallo and Malacia to training is genuinely good news for Manchester United. Both players can make a difference when they are fit and available. Amad's comeback after dealing with a family bereavement is particularly heartening. It shows courage and strength of character from a young player who has been through a traumatic experience. Every United fan should be supporting him as he returns to action. Malacia's return finally gives United another option in defense. Even if he is not ready to play immediately, just having him back in training is a step forward. But let me be clear. These training ground updates do not solve Manchester United's fundamental problems. The team is still struggling tactically. The results are still poor. The performances are still below the standard required. What happens against Sunderland will tell us a lot about where this season is heading. A big win could be the spark that gets United going. A poor performance, or worse, a loss would be a disaster that might spell the end for Ruben Amorim. United fans have waited long enough for success. We have been patient through disappointing season after disappointing season. We deserve better. We deserve a team that fights for every ball, that plays with pride, and that gives us something to celebrate. The return of Amad and Malacia is a small step in the right direction. But it is only a small step. The real test comes on Saturday afternoon when the referee blows the whistle and United have to go out there and perform. Stay with United News. Thank you for choosing United News as your trusted source for Manchester United updates. We know these are challenging times for all Red Devils fans, but we are here with you every step of the way. We will continue bringing you the latest news from the training ground, detailed match analysis, and honest commentary on everything happening at Old Trafford. Whether the news is good or bad, you can count on us to tell it like it is. Make sure you check back with us after the Sunderland match for our full reaction and analysis. We will be breaking down what went right, what went wrong, and what it all means for Manchester United's season. Stay strong, stay loyal, and never stop believing in Manchester United. Glory, glory, Man United. We are all in this together.